If you are a current pickleball club or you're looking to open a pickleball club, I'm going to be sharing with you some things that you can implement to improve your marketing, also customer member experience. And these are things that I've just noticed with myself, being and going around to different pickleball clubs and experiencing those, and also taking things that have worked from the fitness industry and the things that I've done that you can implement relatively quickly. The first one is about someone who handles member experience. Now, I want you to think about this a little bit differently. So when members come in, oftentimes they can book a court, they can go and find a court to fit with their level of expertise. However, if, for example, I'm in a situation where I want to find a drill partner, I would have liked to have someone, onboard me into a process where they understand what my current needs are so that I'm going to potentially not just stay there for longer, but also get a better experience, right? So, yes, there's the option for me to enroll in tournaments, enroll in ladders, and do things like that. However, by bringing someone in that can come in part time and then move to full time, that person's job is to have conversations as people come in. And even in the gym space, right, in the gym world, typically you'll have a salesperson, but there isn't someone handling that kind of experience of finding out where people are at. That's normally done by the personal trainers. So if someone's not going to a coach directly, then there's a really important audience in between that, okay, for other needs. So that might not be something that you do immediately, but you can actually move to. Number two, which is, and this is based on tech that's going to be available over time, but also programs that you may be able to adjust now. But I think there's going to be more of these, which is knowing how many open players there are. Now, I believe that there's issues when it comes to legalities around cameras, but for me as a player, knowing that, I don't need to make a phone call to find out, like, how busy is it now, is really important, because there's certain periods of the day that are busier than others, right? Now, it's in those other slots that you can start to market to specific niches to fill those different areas based upon different demographics, right? So if you have area and times which are slower than others, what you need to do is think strategically about the marketing that's going to fit into people coming, and that's when you can start to run ads around those demographics. The next one is about having an onboarding video series. Now, I'll tell you a quick story. When I used to work helping gyms to grow and also personal trainers, when I was coaching these personal trainers, I gave them an option to go through a mindset training, and they really enjoyed that. They said that was really powerful. But when I made it compulsory, the results increased. So what you can do is you can set up a member, again, this is member onboarding series of videos that connects the members with the founder, which is really important to get that touch point. But also potentially staff members and coaches, depending on how many you've got, that can start to, just have that touch point, right? And that can also be used to divert people based upon the skill level that they're at into certain things. So it's just a great thing to do. If you think about the CrossFit market, right? There's an on ramp, right? There's a series that you need to go through in order to start, and that's a difference that I'm seeing in the model of pickleball versus, say, gyms or other things right there, which is, is there a sequence, an automated sequence of a certain things that need to happen in order for other things to need to happen, because you've got so many different members with different abilities. The next one, which is testimonial automation. So again, part of marketing is sharing the results that people have, whether that's to get fit, whether that's to go from a certain level to another level and start, maybe becoming a pro, whatever that is, right? Having videos that you can use to put out there just solidifies in people's minds and can be used as a great remarketing tool when it comes to ads. So when do you get testimonials? You get them at the point of people being excited about certain things. So in fitness, you don't ask for a testimonial when someone comes in the first week. It's at those milestones around getting certain fitness results. So you can use this with your staff, yes, at different events and using, grabbing the camera and stuff like that. But there's also a great tool called Video Ask. It's built by the same company that use Typeform, so that the built Typeform. And so Video Ask is just a very simple way of hitting a button, and then it goes in to a system, which then you can take and then you can automate. I'm big on systems and automation, and so doing that after a certain period of time, whether it's 3 months or at certain events or different milestones, is really important. I'll tell you a story about how I use this in an online program. So I have a 6-week program that my clients go through, and basically at the end of the program, that's when it triggers the video testimonials. So those I just get over and over and over again, right? And so that is set up as a system. So start to think about how you can implement systems to get things like testimonials. Now, testimonials are also really good because this can also spark media, local media, which then you can use for running ads too. Okay, so when you get a testimonial, maybe someone said, they came in and they were really unhealthy. Like for my story as an example, right? I had GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, and I started pickleball. So I have a really good people story. And so the more that people start to tell you stories, the more you can go, oh, that's actually good for the media, because what the media want is not just a press release. They want a people story, someone who's gone through this big transformation and it touches people's hearts. And you won't know that unless you're, having these conversations. And that's why the earlier tip is important for the member experience person that you have on board. The next one, I think this is really important for clubs, which is content from staff. Now, you do want to consider who is fronting the club when it comes to like content. But if you've got front of staff members that are really kind of like outgoing, get them on video, right? Instead of just putting flyers out, people want to see people. You can also, to incentivize staff, you can also, run a competition, to submit a video, which they could win some equipment. So incentivize, get people in part of the journey, and also maybe include members in that. Maybe you've got some really talented members that love, are doing influencer stuff. Well, maybe they could actually run some cool content and build some stuff. You could, instead of thinking about just tournaments and ladders, think about how you can use other social things to build the club. Next one is ads. Now, you've probably heard of ads, right? Facebook ads, other ads to promote the club. What I want to talk about here is specific to people who don't necessarily understand what pickleball is, because you've got people who are searching for pickleball because they want courts. But there's also bigger markets around, for example, fitness and other different areas where you can introduce people when it comes to their understanding, right? You've got certain levels of awareness. So someone who already plays pickleball that wants to find a court is very different from someone who just wants to get fit, but pickleball could be a great avenue for them to come in. And so the marketing copy, and how you do those ads and videos, you want to start to spit out different ads according to different demographics. And then what you can do is find out, based on conversions, what has worked the best. And finally, email capture and also text too. So if you go to picklepreneurs.com, you'll see the email capture that I have built in, for example, the checklist and other things that you'll see. So when it comes to your email capture, you can actually rotate this through different things. Yes, 7 days free or free lesson, or, other things. But, also think about the majority of the members that you have come in, write down those demographics, and then say, okay, there would be a great checklist here that we could give away as a free opt-in, right? So if you don't have that data, you won't be able to produce the email opt-in. Then there's also something cool, which is called community.com, which is for text updates, and then you can segment that way. I would love to know when certain things are happening in the clubs that I'm in, but there's no communication, right? For example, hotels and other locations, they're not very good at having email blasts go out, which are specific to our needs, right? So open play, other things. If you've got a club, then of course you've got different segments. There are lots of other things that I want to cover. I wanted to make this relatively short. Let me know in the comments what you want from clubs that you're going to. And if you run a club, do reach out. You can head to picklepreneurs.com, apply for a strategy session with me. But also comment below what is working for you and what systems you've implemented. I'll be doing more of these videos for clubs, but hopefully you found this useful, and I'll see you again.